smell. You smell it. Oh, it smells so good. Hey guys, welcome to Mad Scientist Barbecue. I'm Jeremy Yoder. I'm here next to the Guadalupe River in Texas, and we're gonna do a cabrito. Open fire, get ready. Guys, I want to take a quick second to thank Made In for sponsoring today's video. Before we jump into a long cook with very primitive cooking tools, I want to tell you about a cooking tool that is going to be a lifesaver for you. At least it has been for me. The Made In carbon steel griddle and press have been absolutely tremendous. Now, I have a lot of cookers, I have a lot of cooking equipment, I have lots of pots and pans, but the thing that I use most frequently to cook meals is this carbon steel griddle. Whether it's steaks or smash burgers, there's no other choice that I would rather have than this griddle. It fits over 2 burners, can absorb lots of heat, can put a great sear on a steak or give you great browning on a smash burger. You can also use it for eggs or bacon or hash browns or any kind of breakfast food. It serves so many purposes. I end up using this thing all the time. As a matter of fact, I just had my in-laws over, and do you know what I cooked with? This griddle. We made some awesome steaks. There's a reason Made In Cookware has over 100,000 5-star reviews online. It's used in over 2,000 kitchens across the world, including some 3 Michelin star kitchens, which is pretty remarkable. This is professional grade cookware for the at-home cook. You don't have to pay a markup that you'd have to pay to a retailer. Really, it's your best bet to get super high quality cookware at a fair price. And my carbon steel griddle has been through a lot. It's been in fully insulated 1,000-gallon offset smoker fireboxes. It's safe to up to 1,200 degrees, so you can use it any place you have heat. It's truly my favorite cooking implement, and you guys owe it to yourself to go over to the Made In website and look at all the cookware they have. I'm just blown away by the quality of cookware you can get from Made In. I am a huge fan, have been for a long time. I even gave a buddy a carbon steel pan, even though he swears by cast iron. He took it home and never brought it back. So I guess he liked it. If you want to save, click on that link and go check out the stuff that they have on their website, whether it's the copper cookware or the carbon steel or the nonstick. All of it is phenomenal. I've used tons of cookware. I've tested out competitors. This truly is my favorite cookware. So click on that link. I know you're going to be glad that you did, and that's why I want to thank Made In for sponsoring today's video. You guys may notice that I'm not in a kitchen. I don't have a smoker behind me. What I have is an open fire cooker. And Al, my buddy from Argentina, if you guys don't know Al, Al's got his own channel. He's making TikToks. He's doing long form YouTube now. So if you get a chance, you need to go over and subscribe. Al is the guy that I love to learn from. All this Argentine asado, Argentine open fire, asador style cooking. That's what we're doing today. Al, what can you tell us about Cabrito?
Well, Cabrito is originally from Monterrey, Mexico, right? The northern part of Mexico,
Okay.
and also was taking over the south of Texas. So I learned how to make Cabrito here, but we're gonna cook it asador style, that is Argentinian style, but it's very similar how they cook it also in the northern Mexico and here in South Texas.
So the technique, is it gonna be kind of like Patagonian lamb?
Exactly. We cook it at the cross, asador style. Remember, asador with an R is mean the technique, right? Because
Gotcha.
a lot of people get confused. Asado without an R means barbecue. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Asado, barbecue, asador style is when you cook 45 degrees with an angle, normally it's a cross, but in this case we have a clamp rack.
Okay, that sounds awesome. How big is this Cabrito?
So Cabrito, to be a Cabrito, has to be a milk-fed baby goat, right?
Okay.
Once they start eating grass, there's no longer a Cabrito. So it's pretty small. It doesn't have a lot of meat, but it's gonna weigh like 15 pounds. We're gonna season it with salmuera.
What's that?
Salmuera is, I would call it like a wet wrap. It's like a brine,
Yep.
right? It's basically water with 10-20% of salt plus some herbs. And we're gonna mix it with warm water. We're gonna splash it like every 20 minutes during the whole cook.
One of the best bites of food I've ever had in my entire life was Patagonian lamb cooked in this exact style. So I can't wait. Let's get that Cabrito and get it prepped.
And I agree. For me, it's one of the best bites in barbecue.
You can't argue it. I mean, it's just so good. And the flavor of the meat is sweeter than lamb that I've had in the United States, and I don't know why.
Well, even if you have like lamb from Australia, even from other parts of Argentina, it's not going to taste the same. And I heard that from a big renowned chef in Patagonia. They said like because it's so close to the sea, you know, it's super windy all the time. The grass got this salty flavor, so the meat is already, you know, because of that grass, is already like seasoning on the muscles. But also, and this is true, because Patagonia is such a rough land, remote, there's not a lot of grass. So you know, the animal has to walk a lot for water, for feeding. So he loses all the fat. So the Patagonian lamb is very lean, right? And it has
But the fat that is there tastes different. It almost tastes sweet.
Yeah,
it's almost like if you're cooking pork and it's like Iberico pork or something.
Yep.
It's just so good.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I personally, I'm not a big fan of lamb. I'll eat it, but I'm not a fan. But every time I go to Patagonia, it's the only thing I eat.
Gotta eat it.
Oh, yeah.
We got to start a fire, don't we?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's go. We're gonna talk about this unique flavor that the Cabrito has, right? Because that's another thing. A lot of people ask me, how a Cabrito tastes. It tastes like chicken, classic, and it tastes like this, like that. And I think Cabrito doesn't taste like anything. It's such a unique flavor. You tried it before, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's like, again, it's like fatty, that taste.
But it's not gamey or
It's
like
not gamey
off-putting at all. Like
Exactly.
I think if you like meat, you'll like it.
Yeah, and here in South Texas, and you saw it last weekend in the event, right? People see Cabrito and
They love it.
they go crazy. When is the Cabrito going to be? When is the Cabrito? And that one is done because it has so less meat, right?
Yeah.
It's gone in
That disappears.
in
Yeah.
3 minutes. Boom,
It vanished.
gone.
Vanished.
Okay, this is my, I call it the torch technique. Simple paper towel. You make like a funnel. It's better to use a cheap oil, right? Make sense?
So you don't want to use your extra special olive
exactly.
oil.
No, you don't. Or like what's lard? Wagyu.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to use Wagyu tallow to start the fire.
Towel, exactly. So to build the fire, I like to make the Shenga method.
Shenga.
Shenga, right? That's how you say it?
Oh, we said Jenga.
Jenga, okay.
Jenga.
Hey, don't correct me, dude. Come on.
No, actually, when I was in Argentina, I was Sheremy.
Sheremy, yeah, exactly.
Sheremy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Sheremy.
Shenga method, okay? Try to pick pequeños, right?
With a little squiggle.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that for, you gotta
Encendedor.
Encendedor.
That was one of the vocab words I had to learn in Argentina because you got to start a fire.
All right. So that's gonna burn for 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the wind. So the good thing about asador style, if you compare it with my other style, like the normal traditional Argentinian style, what I like about this that once you start the fire, you can start cooking, because basically what you're gonna do, you're gonna cook with the radiant heat from the flame. Remember, we never cook direct flame to the meat, right? At least in the South American style, right? So even when we do asador style, it's never direct. So what we want to do is to put the cross here, and with the radiant heat from the flame, that's how you're gonna cook it. Never direct.
So it's the exact opposite of American style low and slow barbecue, where you don't want any radiant heat. You want all convection. So here you're using only radiant heat to do the cooking.
Exactly right. And you're always gonna cook it on one side, right?
Okay.
Even when you like cook flat, you always wanna cook it one side. You're never gonna cook like in close or around it. So that's why it's very important to have bone, to have fat, to have membrane. All this is gonna protect the meat from drying out, and also is gonna help the cooking process. So now that the fire is going, that's the good thing, right? That we can start cooking right now. So now we have to set up the rack.
You notice wind coming in an offset smoker. It's an enclosed environment. How do you deal with it?
Okay, so this is the logic behind it. You always have to be in control of what is happening on the grill. You don't have to let the wind be in control or your fire is being in control. That said, now the wind is coming, from the river, right? It's coming that way. So the wind is gonna blow the flame for that way, right? So I don't want to put the rack in that place because I lose control of the cook, because the wind is gonna blow the flames into my cook.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it here. So
Gotcha.
because the rack can goes up and down. So let's say the wind start picking up and it's like blowing faster, I can drop it.
Right.
So I can drop it to see if the wind stops, lift it, right?
Right.
That's why you have to be in control. See how the flames are blowing now?
Right.
See put your hand over the other side and see.
That's warm.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
warm right there.
So you don't want that. You don't want the wind to be in control. You don't want the fire to be in control. You have to be in control.
If you're cooking with radiant heat, if you imagine infrared wavelengths of light, they're not heating all the air molecules, but it's light that goes and heats up whatever's next to it. So if you tried to put a thermometer, like a digital probe, right here, it might say 150 degrees or something like that, but the meat will cook to higher than 150 degrees because that thermometer isn't picking up the radiant heat. So radiant heat, in this case, is your friend. It does all the cooking, but in most typical American low and slow barbecue settings, radiant heat is not something you want to do.
We don't use tools in open fire. We use our senses, our feeling, right? We feel, we see the flame, you know, we understand how it's happening. See, now you can see, right, that the flame is going that way. You can feel it, you can hear it. So you have to involve all your senses when you're cooking open fire.
I know when I was in Argentina, I had my trusty thermopen, and I was shamed heavily for using any kind of thermometer because they strictly do not do that. I've seen Al like do this, you know, this is Al's thermometer right here. We should start calling it the Fragoni finger method, right? He's like, 10 seconds, 8 seconds. Can you tell the audience what that is?
Everybody is gonna have something different, right? But I like to put my hand and count in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's how much your hand lasts before you have to pull it out. That's how I measure. So I'm thinking 1 or 2 seconds to sear super hot, to sear a steak or a flank or something. Then from 6 to 8 is probably my favorite temperature to cook. Like almost everything I cook at that temperature. And when you're cooking a whole animal, like at a super slow cook, you can go to 10 to 12 seconds.
Gotcha.
Right?
So we're gonna start off this cabrito like 8 seconds, something like that?
Yes, something like that. It's 3 rules in open fire. Patience, patience, patience. So that's so key, right? Because sometimes the wind is kind of wild and you're not sure what to do, if it's too much, you always go to the lower side. Like we talked not long ago, nobody in the history of barbecue cooked up a piece of meat cooking it slow, at least in open fire, right? So
yeah, I've never done a barbecue cook and said, oh man, I'm so disappointed. I got the stuff done too soon. That has never happened.
Exactly, never.
Start early, give yourself plenty of time, don't rush.
Exactly, exactly. In Argentina, we call it arrebatarlo. That slang, literal translation, doesn't exist. But basically what it means is don't overcook the first layer of the meat, of the animal. Because what we try to do now when you cook a whole animal is like the first layer warms enough so you can cook the second layer, and then the heat starts transmitting the heat layer through layer through layer through layer until it gets to the opposite side, right? So what happens if you cook it so fast? You're gonna dry and you're gonna seal the first layer. And that I see a lot of that online with people. They have a whole animal all black, right? And then they cut it and it's still raw in the inside. Because once you seal that first layer, doesn't matter if you're gonna cook it 12 hours, it's gonna still raw in the inside.
Okay, good to know.
The first hour is to get like that room temperature to the animal. Once you feel in the other side, you touch the other side and you feel it's warm, then you know you nail it. Now that's cooked. So now you can speed it up a little bit to crisp that skin, to make that chicharrón if you're cooking pork. But once it's already penetrate all the heat and the 90% of the cook is done.
Got it. Well, I think we're set up. I think I know enough to at least be able to try to help you. So let's get this cabrito out, let's get it prepped, and let's get it on the fire here.
Vamos. Is it on? I don't think it's on. It's good?
It's good, solid. It's a good fire.
It's the first time. But see what I mean? Look.
Yeah, you feel the heat over here.
I'm feeling the heat. See, if you can see the flame, right? So imagine if I cooked my cabrito here. The wind is gonna cook my cabrito, not me.
Yeah, and then you get that black layer.
Exactly.
Yeah, gotcha. So we want to be on the side that the wind is coming from.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
See the wind, how is that? Now I can put my hand here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Gotcha.
Right? But if the wind stops, that's gonna be like I'm gonna burn my hand in 1 second. Also, another thing, open fire, you have to be on top. It's not like you set up everything and then you go and do shopping, and go and, I don't know, take a shower, whatever, right? And on open fire, you have to be on top because things can change like in a second. Like the wind stopped, look at that. See, now the flames are like that.
Yeah.
So you have to be all the time like alert and in control. But that doesn't mean you have to be stressed out. The key is like to enjoy, right? Enjoy the process, be around the fire.
Yeah.
Have your friends serving some vino.
Yeah.
Book.
I think probably for the audience, it's important to know that this is kind of like the most primal way of cooking meat. We have a whole animal and we built a fire and we put the animal next to the fire. So I think in Argentina, the gauchos would like build a fire on the ground and have like the cross next to the fire. Yeah. So very basic, but when done properly is absolutely incredible.
Well, let's see if we can do it properly.
Well, I think you can. I wouldn't bet on myself to do it properly.
I bet you can.
All right, we have our cabrito here. What do we need to do to prep this thing?
Okay, the prep is very easy. It's almost like a little bigger than a cow, right? So as you can see, it came already prepared, right? But in case it didn't come prepared, what you have to do is go like very carefully from the cartilage right there, right? and separate the spine from the rib and slowly start opening. You don't want to do like that before cutting here because you don't want to break these bones. They're like super fragile. These are the kidneys that they leave it on because they are delicious.
¿Cómo se dice kidneys?
Riñón.
Riñón?
Yeah, riñón. So I don't know how. I don't know if they do it in Mexico or South Texas, but in Argentina, when we cook whole animals, there's a tradition that the kidneys, the pitmasters save the kidneys for the special guest. So if you're in Argentina, again, I don't know much about in Mexico, but in Argentina, if you're cooking somebody and somebody hand you this, that means that a lot of respect. It means that you're the special guest in that asado. So
really?
Yeah. So you have to go with your best face and delicioso. Okay. Back to the cabrito. It doesn't take a lot of prep. We told already that we're gonna season it on the grill. You can see all the. What I love to do now is to watch all the muscles and then compare with the beef.
So Al, one thing I'm noticing here is the color of this meat. It's kind of like a rose color, like veal. Is that because of just the all milk diet, or?
Yes, it is. That's why it's a very special kind of meat. Doesn't taste gamey, doesn't taste anything.
And we've got this one already kind of flattened out. Do we need to do anything with any of the other bones or joints?
I learned this from Santi, that I like dislocate the bones, right, to make it sure that you're gonna cook better, but I guess they're already dislocated, right? That helps to loosen up everything so the heat penetrates more. So the only thing I would do is this. I learned this trick from a guy from South Texas. This is the neck. And believe it or not, a lot of the meat is gonna be here. So this, when it cooks, it's like getting like this, kind of funny. So I like to cut it like this. So for camera purpose, I'm gonna
deep breath.
Eh?
And release. You're like a goat chiropractor, Al.
Yep. Okay, deep breath. That's gonna be it for now, right? We're gonna put it like that, and then we're gonna season it over the grill.
Right, so we got to get it in that cage. How do you do that?
We have a Santi.
Big shout out to Santi. He's doing a lot of the work you don't see behind the camera, like moving grills and bringing wood down and all that stuff. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Santi. So, okay, so this cross is very. Again, we call it a cross, but it's more like a clam rack, but that's the same purpose. Another important thing, we're gonna cook it bone side first.
Okay.
We're gonna get all the meat. Again, this is a super small animal, but if you're cooking a pig or lamb, right, or something bigger, or even a bigger goat, you wanna always cook on the bone side first.
Is that to conduct the heat, or is it to protect the meat? What is it?
Both,
oh,
right?
Okay.
Because you want all the carcass to protect your meat. Actually, 80% or maybe 85% of the cook is gonna be on this side.
Oh, okay.
Not only time, if not the whole cook itself. You're gonna flip it just to crisp that skin, but the whole cook is gonna be in this side.
So almost all the cooking will be done on this side.
Yes.
And then at the end, it's like looking like it's done. Then we flip.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Once we have, like, I'm thinking a cabrito, if the wind helps, doesn't get it very crazy, I think we're gonna have 4 hours, right?
Okay.
Because it's a super slow cook. Here is very, just make sure it's not gonna move because this is gonna be vertical. Oh, that was good timing. Yeah, you're gonna flip it?
This way?
Yeah. See what just happened? The fire fell down. You have to be in control. You have to react or whatever is happening. So now with the shovel, we're gonna move all the coals over there. Turn this baby up.
Okay, how far?
I think that's okay. But remember the important thing that doesn't mean that it has to stay there, right? You have to be constantly moving, adapting to what is happening, right? So for now, that's good. But this is gonna burn off. We have to add more wood. So now, okay. So can you tell the wind kind of stop? So now this is your thermometer. Put your hand here. Count in your head. You have more feeling in this side.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right?
Yeah, about 9. It starts to really hurt.
Another thing, it feels warmer here than here. That's because of the wind. If we don't have any wind, this thing is gonna be all the way the same temperature. But because of the wind, we have more heat here. Okay. So that's something that we have to consider with the time.
Right.
Because maybe we can flip this, put this in this part down, right?
Right, and for bigger animals, like say you're doing a pig or something like that, I think I remember you saying that you use the coals from the wood that burns down to kind
Yes.
of heat the bottom side and then the flames for the top side. Is it different because the animal's so small?
No, it's exactly the same. If this is zero wind, this should be like even all the way.
By the way, you guys should know that even though it's a lot cooler today than a couple days ago when we did lots of filming, the camera is on the verge of overheating because of the radiant heat. You can feel it standing next to the fire. That's the radiant heat we're talking about. It's not heating all the air molecules between you and the fire, but those light waves, so highly energetic light waves, are coming toward you and they're heating up your skin and you perceive it as heat. That same energy is what's going to be cooking our cabrito today.
And that's why leather is so good when you do open fire. Sometimes we are cooking at 110 degrees and people are saying, why are you using leather? And a fireman knows better. This is the only thing that is going to stop that, what do you say?
Radiant heat?
No, yeah, but the atoms, what is the nucleus, whatever?
Oh, molecules? Yeah. It's kind of like a welding apron, you know?
Yeah,
It's
exactly,
just,
yeah.
It's just effective. Plus, for being honest, makes you look pretty cool.
Yeah, I look cool as hell. Look at me. Yeah.
All right, so we got this thing on. You said we're going to use a salmuera to
Yes.
season. How do we make that?
Okay, let's start. We're gonna use my asado all-purpose rub. That is a rub that you could use it dry as a normal rub, but also if you mix it with warm water, you can do the salmuera.
Got it. It's available now where?
Everywhere. On HEV here in Texas, we have it online, we have it in Amazon, in our website, alfrugoni.com.
There you go. So Al told me to get some rosemary and then handed me this knife. At first I was confused. Then I realized he's got rosemary growing right here. Oh, it smells. You can smell it. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, so fresh. All right, maybe two more. But we're starting to get it together now.
You want to tie it, you're in charge of this.
Oh, I don't know if we should do
All right.
that.
Asado all-purpose. I'm gonna eyeball it. I'm gonna put like 20% ratio on rub and water. And you want the water to be a little warm so all the salt mainly can dissolve, all the seasonings, right? And to apply it, we have Leonardo da Vinci here. He's gonna make a brush.
All right. Well, Al asked me to cut the rosemary. I think I did a fine job on cutting the rosemary. Now he's asked me to tie it to the end of the spoon so we can apply it without burning ourselves. But this man has never seen me try to wrap Christmas presents, so he doesn't know how bad of an idea this is. But I'm willing to give it the old college try. I'll probably try to wrap it, something like that.
Yeah,
Okay, here we go.
it's good. You remind me to Salvador Dali.
Oh yeah, the artist?
Yep.
Oh wow. Well, I'm flattered, Al.
You are an artist, my friend.
Dali.
And-
Nope. See, that's why you gotta test it.
I'm super bad at wrapping presents too.
I think you did this on purpose just to watch me fail. And you could laugh at me, which is fine.
No.
I appreciate that. It's a good move. I would probably do the same. But what's the real way, Al?
No, I don't have a real way, but what I do is I start like pushing it really hard.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think you've done this before.
A few times. You can actually add the rosemary or anything you want to this, and then you can apply it with a spoon or anything you want, right? Even like we do in events, we put it in a plastic bottle. Oh, look at this guy. Get out of my water, dude.
Grasshopper.
Okay.
You're gonna eat that one?
You gonna end it in the grill? Huh? We're gonna eat it. Okay, see?
You might end up in the grill. But doing it this way, we have a brush kind of built
Exactly.
in, and you're hoping some of those oils from the rosemary and stuff
Yes.
kind of get on the meat.
Yes, no, 100%. That's exactly what is gonna happen. And it looks cooler, right?
It
looks,
is way cooler.
Yeah, than a spoon.
In the words of Matthew McConaughey, you don't have to use a rosemary brush, but it'd be a lot cooler if you did. Oh, so you keep it hot next to the fire.
Just for a while. And splash.
And like this?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yep.
Is there a special technique you use?
No.
Oh, you see some of the seasonings getting on right there.
Yes, exactly. So when you do this technique, not only you're gonna season your meat, but the fact that it's wet is gonna also relax the meat. It's gonna help the cooking process. It's gonna also help to build that golden color that you want.
I can see that. Is there any sugar in this?
No.
Okay. So
no sugar.
No risk of sugar burning. So this is
Exactly.
appropriate for asador style cooking.
Exactly. That's another big difference between open fire and smoking. Is the fire is always way more aggressive on the meat than the smoking, right?
Right.
So you're always gonna have very good chances to burn every rub that you're gonna use. That's why this rub is coarse. You know, it's gonna burn less. It's still gonna burn, but less, right? Or if you're gonna use a rub that contains sugar, that's gonna look very bad.
Do we do anything on the back side, or we leave it alone?
No, just this side. We're gonna apply that like that, exactly like every 20 to 30 minutes.
Gotcha. I can really start to smell the rosemary now that these leaves got hot. I can smell the rub, and I think we're going to eat real good in a few hours.
Yeah, I shouldn't do that because I'm burning my hand.
Okay, all right, let's get it out of here.
Now I like that fire, right? I wouldn't add more because I like the fire, but maybe in 20 to 30 minutes, maybe we add some logs. We can check it out again, see how the wind is behaving.
Gotcha.
Right? But so far I like this. Let's leave it like that.
Okay, so fire like this is good?
Yes.
And we want to kind of keep it like this for the next couple hours?
Yes, but to keep it like this, you have to add more firewood, right? To keep that kind of flame.
Gotcha. So we'll check back in with you guys in probably 2 hours after we're probably midpoint in this cook. We're going to talk about how it's cooking on the bone side and when to know when to flip the thing over and finish the thing off.
Okay, Santi, see now the wind is kind of like changing a little bit. But that's the thing about this grill that I love so much too. That let's say if that happens, we just rotate the grill. Just grab it from here.
Oh, you just you don't.
You know what I mean?
That's way smarter. You just pick up the handles and turn it around.
And turn it around. Yes, that's why I love this kind of grill.
I was thinking maybe we're gonna need heat gloves. You know, grab that cage, try to move the cage. It's gonna be really hot. But no, your method is infinitely better.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why these grills are so good.
All right, we're a little over 2 hours in, and we still have a fire going. It kind of looks like the same setup that we had when we left, but I see fat dripping now a little bit. So what are you thinking, Al? Give me your evaluation of this cook and what we need to do to finish this thing off.
I really like where we are right now. The wind was very nice with us today, so we added wood what, 2 or 3 times?
Something
right?
like that, yeah.
A couple of logs. I like the color I'm seeing. I like it needs a little more color, that golden color. That's gonna help if we keep adding the salmuera. But the main thing that I like is this one. Here, let me show you this. So feel this part.
Yep. Oh, you feel the heat coming through.
See? Cabrito is not a thick piece of meat, right? But still, can you feel the warm? This is warm.
Feel the heat. It's not room temp. You feel heat coming through.
Exactly, and it's all warm. It's already hot. What that means is it's already cooked. The heat penetrated all the way.
Gotcha.
From one side to the other one. So now we can speed up the process. We can start getting that golden color. I would drop a notch the rack and cook it for I don't know, let's see, half an hour and see how it reacts. Maybe 1 hour. But when we get that golden color that we're looking for, boom, ready to flip. Now it's about color. It's finishing because that thing it is already cooked.
Well, one thing I'm noticing with the color too is the parts that were more exposed to smoke are redder. Like here at the top where the smoke was kind of rolling over, you see it's nice and red. And then here at the bottom, you see nice and red. And then here, kind of a little bit of a golden color, maybe off-white. I don't even know what to describe it as. We'll get a little bit of the smoke flavor, but we get that direct heat, kind of browning, the Maillard reaction. What you're really after when you're searing a steak or cooking anything, direct heat.
Exactly. You're exactly right. But another concern that we had, remember, it was I probably is cooking faster down than here, but if you touch it, again, I can feel the same. So and if I draw my hand, actually now I think it's hotter in the top.
Is it sacrilegious if I use this?
Yes, you can.
Don't Al, what's that?
What? No, you can. No, I'm, for the record, I'm okay with any types of grills, any type of cooking, any type of tools. A lot of people, because I'm kind of the open fire guy, they try to talk to me bad about other ways of cooking, and absolutely no. Yeah. I cook with whatever you want to cook, equipment, pellets, a gas grill, anything you like. Just be out there and cooking for your friends and family. I'm good with that.
I'm a fan of any kind of cooking meat with fire.
Exactly.
If you do Argentine open fire, if you do traditional American barbecue,
same.
If you have to use a pellet grill, I'm just kidding. I love you pellet grill owners out there. But yeah, any kind of cooking meat with fire, I love. I think the more barbecue that exists out there, the better it is for all of us.
Exactly.
You can actually get great results with a pellet grill. You can get great results with a Weber Smoky Mountain or or a drum smoker, or you can even get great results with kind of a round piece of metal you build a fire in and put a whole animal next to it. So it's pretty awesome. It's way more important that you know what you're doing than having a specific piece of equipment, though the equipment helps.
True.
Yeah. All right, so what do you need to do to get this thing to the next step?
I would add a few more logs there, right, and crank up the heat. I'm gonna pull it down one notch. I'm gonna add a few coals over here. What I try to do now is like generate like a kind of like a convection heat all around the cabrito. Now we're gonna drop it one notch. Don't be like me, use gloves, okay? I just burn.
All right, we're a little over 3 hours in at this point. What are you looking for to see whether or not you're ready to flip it around? Because timeline, we're about to flipping time.
Yes.
But what do you want to see before you do that?
So I want to see exactly what I'm looking at right now. That golden color, the color is perfect, but check this out. See how loose it is?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So that means that it's done. I think up here needs more heat.
Okay.
Because it's up, and again, the wind didn't help us with that. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna turn it.
Okay.
But also we're gonna flip it.
Oh, flip up.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
Because I like to cook, you know, the other side, but also mainly in this part. And also and again, the majority of the meat is here, right, on the neck and on the shoulders, right? So I need to finish cooking this part up here.
Gotcha.
Now kind of the wind is doing like this. Can you feel it? Can you feel
Yeah,
it
I kind of feel swirling.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to flip
Yes.
and rotate.
Exactly. Go up.
So
Yeah.
flip
Yes.
and rotate.
Look at these guys, professional.
Good teachers. So we flipped and rotated, and which
Yeah.
notch?
Well, that's we're gonna see right now.
That one or one more down?
I would do that one because I want to see, which just added more wood, and the wind now is kind of acting kind of crazy. Can you
Sure.
see that? So if you can feel it, 6-7 seconds.
It's not as hot on the top as it is on the bottom.
Yes,
Bottom is
I like that. Actually, because remember we have to cook the neck and all that. I would add more coals here.
Okay, add more coals here. And then we're going to try to get that color on this side.
Yes.
And then we're done?
Yes, and I like that kind of heat. If you notice, it's stronger than how we begin, right?
Right. So you're increasing as you go?
Yes. Once we cook it all, remember that heat penetrated all the way.
Yep.
Now we can notch it up.
Last question. Are we going to put some salmuera on this side?
I like it to leave it like it is because
Okay.
you see all these little things. They could burn, and I like a perfect golden in the other side, just for the looks, right? Because it's already seasoned enough. Actually, you know what we can do? If you can put duck spray.
Oh, duck fat? Yeah.
Duck fat, right? You put duck fat.
Ooh,
That's another thing that I learned
sounds so good.
from my friend Big Habs from South Texas. Javi, he showed me that, and then you help to create that, golden color.
Big Javi does a bunch of like whole animals and stuff. I'll put a link for his social media. He does like whole cows, really cool stuff. Also a great guy to follow.
Yeah, and he builds crosses too as well.
Oh yeah, he builds them. So if you want your own custom cross, he's a good guy to talk to.
All right, so we're gonna put more coals there. Okay, now what we are gonna do is to make a crown of fire around it, right? As you can see the wind, how it's blowing this way. So if I build a fire here and there, I create like a kind of convection heat around the cabrito to heat with the last punch, and probably 40 more minutes, we're gonna be eating.
Okay, so the crown of fire is like the finishing move.
Yes.
How do you
It's
say it in
already-
Spanish? En español?
La corona.
La corona de fuego?
Hey, very good, very good. Este pibe habla español. Johnny Cash would say ring of fire, right?
Oh yeah, there you go.
I know.
Cool.
But
All right, so 40 minutes and we're gonna come back and check it out.
yes, exactly. See, when you're moving your fire and your fire goes out, this is a trick that I learned in Patagonia. You have to make a square. Can you see that square? And then you can aim to the fire, and done. See? Four hours in. I love the color on both sides. Let's take it out. Ready?
Ooh, that does look good.
Yes, yes. All right, vamos. Vamos! Okay.
I can take that.
Yes, sir. Hey, do you think it's gonna try the kidney? I don't know. Up to you.
You gonna try it?
Yep. But again, it's up to you. You know, I understand. But look, kidney.
I'll try it.
Yeah, baby. Okay.
I'll do it.
All right, ready? Not that bad.
Oh, this is infinitely better than the beef kidneys I had.
To the
That was
color.
actually good.
Yeah, it is good, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, it's done. We're not gonna rest it, right? We're just gonna cut it into it. So, I'm gonna show you how to cut it, okay?
Okay, how do you do it?
No,
No knife?
no knife needed. Check this out. Look at this.
The juice is about to run off the board here. It's already running off the board.
Look at this.
Oh,
Look how clean. Look at that.
oh wow.
Look at
That's
that.
like barbecue type stuff.
Yep. But let's shred it all, right?
Okay.
And then we try it. But check this out. I want.
Is there
yes.
a best cut?
Well, I like, you know, all the part of the steaks here, if you can see, right next to the bone.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
See?
it's like the tenderloin.
Yep.
Hot. Oh. It's got a sweetness that you don't get with anything else. That is
Yes.
phenomenal.
It's such a unique flavor, right? People,
Yeah.
I don't know if you said it before, but people ask me, like, what it tastes. It tastes like cabrito. That's it. Doesn't. It's a singular taste.
Yeah.
Nothing tastes like this.
Yeah.
Not goat, no lamb, no chicken, no pork. Check this out.
And it's all juicy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super fatty, but it's not dried out at all.
No, it's not gamey at all.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh.
Supposedly this is the toughest muscles. Look at that.
Yeah, it looks real tough.
Look at this. Clean bones.
Yep.
So this is like people don't understand about open fire, that you can have this clean bone cooking open fire on a slow cook,
Yeah.
right? And maintain
Pretty
the moist.
phenomenal. Okay, meat. It reminds me of Roadrunner. Meat.
Beep, beep. Okay,
Meat.
ready to this? I want you to do that so you can feel,
Oh, break it off.
yeah.
Deep breath. Just relax for me and exhale. Perfect.
Let's see.
Yeah. This falls off so easily. You guys can see this. It's just covered in juice. So lean, but still crazy juicy. So this side, juicy. That side, juicy. Look at the skin. It's crisp, but juicy. Nothing is dried out. I mean, pretty remarkable.
The skin tastes good. So what you want to do when you shred it, cut the skin, shred it, and serve it all together. So the best bite is a piece of skin and a piece of meat like this. And that's the best bite. Vamos. I'm gonna make you a taco, okay?
Okay, an Argentine taco.
A Monterrey taco, okay? Skin, meat.
Ooh, lemon. Oh yeah. All right. Oh, the lemon. So perfect.
Yeah, the lemon. The lemon is everything.
Crunchy skin. Oh,
Different texture, different everything. Cabrito is different.
look at this one. You'd expect the leg to be dry, but it's not. Al, you're a wizard.
It cooked itself. I didn't do anything. That's another thing that about open fire, right? When you feel
manage the fire.
exactly, if you feel that you didn't do anything, you did it right. That makes sense? Look at
It
that.
does. You let the fire do the work for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to set up the conditions and maintain those conditions and let the physics do what it does. Auntie's wife, she loves Cabrito.
Oh, yeah?
She didn't ask. She's like, if you don't bring me Cabrito back, I kill you. So, so it's more like that.
Santi, is your wife from Argentina too?
Yes.
Cordoba.
Very good. Very good.
When we were in Argentina, you told me you put the emphasis on the first syllable. Cordoba,
Córdoba.
not Cordova.
Exactly. Very good. I have a good memory, man.
Well, I try to remember the things you taught me, Al. I remember you told me any sign you see that ends in eria, they sell that thing. So you're like, carniceria, they sell meat. Panaderia, they sell bread. And then I was like, what's ferreteria? It's like, do they sell ferrets? And you're like, no, it's like a hardware store. And I was like, oh.
The ferro, the
Iron.
yeah.
All right, so here we have juicy meat, crispy skin. But are we doing any salt, any rub, anything?
When I cook my first cabrito, and then I ask my friend Javi, okay, so how you eat it, right? Because being here in South Texas is a completely, believe it or not, it's a completely different culture from where I'm from, Argentina, right? Mexico, South Texas, because here they use so many sauces and amazing rubs and all these flavors, right? These salsas that they make. Out of everything, they make a salsa. So I was very surprised when Javi told me, no, the cabrito you eat it like that. Maybe a corn tortilla, that's it. And that blew my mind because, in a culture that they eat so many salsa, but that's the cabrito, that's why it's so good. It doesn't need salsa in the salsa capital of the world.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got its own flavor. You don't need to cover it up with anything else. Yeah, really good. Let me try one more bite here.
Yeah, so a lot of people are going to comment, like, where can I find it?
Yeah, where can you find it?
Well, in South Texas. So, yeah, that I know it's not very common in other places. I know it's difficult to find, but that's an idea for an entrepreneur, right? Whoever wants to start, like, producing cabritos and ship it nationwide, I think it's going to be a very good business.
Could be.
Yeah.
But the skills to do that kind of asador style cooking, you can apply to a pig or
Yes.
anything you cook that way,
Exactly.
right?
Yes, 100%. The same is more time, but basically it's the same. 90% the same type of cook.
Got it.
And also, it's not the only way to do it, right? This is
Okay.
how we cook it in Argentina, how they cook it in northern Mexico. Los norteños, right? That's how they cook it, open fire. But here in South Texas, I know a lot of people that cook it. They have these old school smokers, right? Like the stone ones.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Brick
brick pits, and my friend David Jones from Hondo, he make the best cabrito that I ever tried, and he cook it on those ovens, like
Oh, really?
pits, like yeah.
Oh, kind of like they would do Carolina style whole hog or something.
Yes, exactly. But not with the cinder blocks, but just like a built-in bricks and like a whole grill.
If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button down below and make sure you go and follow Al. This is just one of the many things Al cooks. If you want to learn how to do a bunch of Argentine style cooking, if you like cooking meat with fire, I know you will, go subscribe to Al's channel. You can follow him on YouTube at
Al Frugoni.
You can follow him on Instagram at
Al Frugoni.
You can follow him on TikTok at
Al Frugoni.
You can follow him everywhere at
Al Frugoni.
A lot of great information and a lot of super cool stuff that he's cooking. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.
Oh, there's a grasshopper on there.
Where?
Right there.
The grasshopper does not need to die. But the one world government wants you to believe, Al. They're going to have you eating grasshoppers and all kinds of bugs. You just have no idea. They're going to take away these cabritos. They're going to take away all the beef. Argentina's going to be eating only bugs. No more cattle. You have no idea. The beef kidney tasted like somebody was peeing in my mouth. And then, well,
Okay, that's the plane.
yeah.
The plane. You're too young for that series. You don't remember that
I don't
series?
know.
Fantasy Island? The plane. No? Maybe the viewers can comment on that one. And I think I fit the role. The plane! William Wallace.
Wind up on the battlefield, and the first thing they do is they're like, "Oh yeah, you English," you know, and then they